being done by phenomenal public servants. So we're before you today on this obviously consequential matter, but this is what we do every day. We follow the facts and the law without fear or favor.
If a jail sentence is in the cards, it is likely that Trump and his attorneys would seek a stay on enforcement of that sentence pending appeal. If that were the scenario, would your office object to staying the sentence?
I'm going to let our words in court speak for themselves when we get to the sentencing matter. I'm not going to address hypotheticals. They raise arguments, we'll respond. And I think your question really underscores an important point. This is an active, ongoing matter, right? We have other phases of this going ahead. We will continue to do our speaking about this matter, about issues like that in court.
From day one, kind of the viability of this case has been questioned in all sorts of media outlets, all over the place, including from the defendant himself. Can you respond to any of that, how you feel now that you've gotten the conviction?
So my response, again, is I did my job. And I think particularly, I talked about the history of the office. My personal history, I started as a prosecutor in 2003 in the Public Integrity Unit in the New York State Attorney General's office. I served also in the Public Integrity Unit in the Southern District of New York. These are kind of cases I've done personally, and it's a hallmark of the tradition of this office that I'm proud to lead. And I don't want to go into the whole body of litigation, but we now have a federal court decision ruling on the legal theories. We had a state court decision on the omnibus motions. But most importantly, today, we have the most important voice of all, and that's the voice of the jurors. They have spoken. Donald J. Trump has been convicted of 34 counts of falsifying business records. Thank you.
District Attorney, your office has been investigating this case since
Are you concerned about retribution if Trump is elected president?
You went to the Supreme Court twice. Any comment on that?
And move on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the scene outside Manhattan Criminal Court. And just a moment ago, we did just hear from District Attorney Alvin Bragg, and he has shared his thoughts on the conviction of Donald J. Trump. Protests. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what you're watching right now is the protest in New York City. Former President Donald John Trump has been convicted on all counts. That is 34 counts. These are Class E felonies. And the District Attorney of Manhattan, Alvin Bragg, was asked a question: would he request jail time for the former president? He didn't want to answer any of those type of questions because he said those questions would be answered by way of motion filings as well as inside the courtroom. And it makes sense because anything he says now is going to be scrutinized by the Donald Trump's defense team. This is historic. This is happening May 30th, 2024. The first United States former president has been convicted of a crime in America. This has never happened in all my life. And I can say that if anyone was born after the 62, 63, 64, let me tell you something. This has never happened. Never happened. A former U.S. president has been convicted and is facing jail time, prison time. I just can't believe this, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot believe that I am reporting that a former president of the United States has been convicted in New York City, the same city where the former president was calling for the execution of the Central Park Five. Let that sink in, ladies and gentlemen. Let that sink in. I want to repeat, he has never apologized to none of those young men who was falsely accused of a crime. Let that sink in. Thank you, JC.
Thank you, yay! Thank you! Yay! Pepperoni, please.
Live coverage continues as we watch the reaction of the verdict of former President Donald Trump. And as you can see, there are two varying opinions about how this trial has concluded. And this is just a start. This is the start. We are in America witnessing history. This is history making. A former president has been found guilty in his home state of New York City, where just a couple of miles up north, the Trump Towers awaits him. So we will probably be getting a shot outside the Trump Towers. This is definitely something I did not plan on seeing ever in my life. But again, no one's above the law. The jurors have spoken, and listen. At the end of the day, this is the system we have. This is the same system that has been convicting many people in America. The same system. We can't rewrite the laws to fit a situation. So as a result, the jurors of his peers have rendered a unanimous guilty verdict. Let that sink in.
Guys, anyone knows tomorrow there's going to be a press conference at Trump Tower?
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, but
To the right, you see the Trump Towers. And to the left, you see the reaction downtown Manhattan. 100 Center Street is where the trial was being held. And we have a shot from both vantage points in New York City. And we can see the security that's outside Trump Towers. And that's probably going to be a scene all night. Amazing. Just amazing.
Thank you, Alvin Bragg. 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 I know everyone here was kind of wrapped